Yo, what is good, people of Earth? So, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about you, Cracker Barrel. I'm a cracker? No, you're a Cracker Barrel. I don't know. It just felt right because it's actually pretty stupid what Cracker Barrel is doing or doing to themselves, and it makes you wonder what's really happening here. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second here. All right, Cracker Barrel has recently come under some heavy fire, scrutiny, lots of controversial sound bits here and there because the CEO has gone ahead and taken the company woke. Now, apparently, the company has been woke for a long time, but now it's just starting to really show its identity or lack thereof. Really, what is boiled down to. I think the majority of people that are looking at this, naysaying and just kind of being like, what the hell are you doing? Like scratching their heads. Like, I think people are kind of looking at this as like, okay, this is going to be very bad for a lot of this company. This company is just going to have big problems coming down the line because no one's going to go there anymore. And so we see like the numbers are going down, their stocks are plummeting. And what did they do? So the woke CEO, she went around and by the way, they talk about identity and all this stuff, but they only have one identity because you could tell this woman is woke when you look at her because she wears the woke outfit. She talks the woke language and she embodies the woke idea. And it's just an idea. It's not really even, I don't even think you could call it an ideal anymore because it's been so patently debunked by now as not being anything of relevance at all. This woke garbage is just ridiculous. It's so late to the game, by the way. Like companies like Budweiser have already, shown how bad it is to come out and be full woke. And so what did they do? What did they do, Nick? What did they do? They made it brighter in their restaurants. They changed the whole persona. First of all, they got rid of the guy on the logo, so they made it very streamlined. Now that logo just looks bad. I mean, it already looked bad, but here's the thing. When you go to Cracker Barrel, knowing that they have a shitty logo. That's what you want. You want Cousin Ed or, Aunt Stephanie's fucking hand-drawn design of a country western store restaurant, and it starts as, you want the heritage of we're walking through a store to get to the restaurant part. Well, you know what? This is how we started. We started as a store, out in the country, getting people their wares and whatnot. And then, cousin, Ethan over there, he would make he would make some meats and stuff and we would cook it and then people started buying it. We started selling jerkies and stuff and then it boiled from there, it's like, that's the heritage you want. It's an American story. Why are we removing the American story? Now, what they're doing with the rebrand is they're going with the brutalist concept, which is the brutalist aesthetic, which is a communist aesthetic. It's proven, guys. I mean, think about it. But anyway, the brutalist aesthetic is what they're doing, which is very bright lighting, which makes you confused and unhappy and not fucking comfortable. Because I guess maybe what they do want is they want you to come in and out, so they don't want you to have any comfort level while you're there. So that's why they jack the lights up. They make it very uncomfortable and very sterile. The only thing the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to literally change the food offering that they have. They're going to be like, it's going to be, we're vegan now, so now you get vegan sausage instead, and vegan, bake mo's. It's like bacon, but it's vegan. It's we're using tofurkey and what else we got? We got all the fucking good shit now. And farming is just so unsustainable that we can't we can't keep having farmed things because it's so unsustainable. What is your evidence here? What is your proof here? What are you trying to say? You're not going to give us actual food anymore? That's probably what's next. I'm not saying that that's there yet, but I'm saying that's probably next. Look, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Cracker Barrel. Okay, I've never really been there. I've never gone there. I'm not, like I grew up in New Jersey. We don't do there's no chain restaurants like that much in New Jersey. So growing up, we just didn't have it. We had delis and diners. That was what it was, and Pathmark, and that was it. And so moving down here in Orlando, Florida, living in Florida, Central Florida, or Florida in general, you got a lot of options for shit. Anyway. This whole idea of hold on. So I never really got to enjoy Cracker Barrel that much, or ever really. I mean, it was just like one of those big mega kind of cool things that you would see on the side of the highway, and I'd always be like, "What is that?" Well, that's what it was. It's a country store / restaurant or whatever, and you can get chicken and dumplings or whatever. Like I remember. For travel, for work, one time, I went with a bunch of the guys that I was working with, and we stopped in there to eat, right? And 2 or 3 of the guys got the chicken and dumplings. Like, we're famous for, they're famous for their chicken and dumplings or whatever. And it came out, and it looked like blah, like disgusting shit on the plate, but it was just white and gooey and stuff. And they were like, "Yo, this is fucking awesome. This is the best fucking shit ever." And I tried it, and it was pretty fucking good. It looked like absolute disgusting ass. But you know what? So did the restaurant, I'm not going to lie. I mean, that's part of the charm, right? Like you go to a dive bar because it's a fucking dive bar. You don't want to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point. Like, when you're going to the beach, you expect to be sweaty in the sun. You expect that. That's what you're going for. It's like, oh, I went to the beach in my suit and I just didn't have a good time, it's just too hot and I sweat all over the place. I got sand in my britches and stuff like that. That's the wrong place. Come on, think. Anyway, so I just think it's funny. But anyway, so I went to Cracker Barrel a couple of times because actually I went one time for breakfast because it was over by a place that I had to go to, right? And so I was really hungry and I was like, this is a place. This actually, I wanted some comfort food. This place has breakfast at lunchtime hours or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Let's try it. It seems humble, doesn't expect. And when I say humble, it means I'm not going to have to spend a lot of money, right? To enjoy something. And that's exactly what it was. I went, we had me and my girl, we had pretty good stuff. I mean, she less than me because I'm into breakfast stuff, I like big greasy fucking stuff with French toast and fucking, give me fucking pancakes and shit. I just want to give it to me. Give me the whole fucking experience. I want it all, bro. I want bacon and fucking sausage. I want to get some fucking country ham on top of that shit too. Give me some eggs with some fucking bacon and cheese all over the fucking shit, and then give me some fucking pancakes and French toast and fucking let's go, right? Cinnamon roll French toast. What? Let's fucking go. They had they had peach cobbler French toast or some shit, and it was fucking banging. I was like, yes, this is what I want. This is fucking humble, you're not gonna get that kind of stuff at the polite little fucking First Watch where you get an omelet and it's just so polite. There's no melted cheese or anything. It looks like they damped it down with a rag and stuff to make it just perfectly dry. And I'm like, this is not flavor. Where's the grease? Where's the smushy good shit? Where's the stuff? Where's all the bits? Where's all the stuff that looks like a little bit of trash in here? Where is that stuff? That's what I'm looking for. That's called flavor. That's what I need. I want the fucking flavor. Where's that at? Okay, that's not what you're going to fucking First Watch for. You're going to First Watch so that you can have a polite meal and have some coffee that you could just buy for or make at your own house for nothing. People want to be seen and shit. It's stupid, but whatever. That's the vibe, right? If I'm going out on a Sunday brunch, I'm not going to fucking, to Cracker Barrel. I'm going to go someplace where I know they actually have a wine flute, not a plastic container to give me the champagne or for mimosas and stuff. I like that stuff too. I want to sit back and see a bunch of douchebag bougie people, spending, hundreds of dollars on fucking French toast. Sometimes you want that too, but stay in the lane. You got to know what you're doing, you know, like, and this is where the identity of Cracker Barrel just went down the fucking tubes. It's like, look, we get some stupid little CEO woke lady come in here and have to change everything about our entire fucking industry. Like, no, the industry doesn't change because you name it something differently, or you take the old guy out of the fucking, you take the cracker away from the barrel. Like, if you do that, that's defying everything that made you guys famous. Like I want to go and I want to sit on a rocking chair and wait for my fucking table because I know the fucking restaurant's so busy because so many people want to eat their greasy ass fucking humble food. That's what I came for. That's the experience I'm looking for, right? I mean, come on. You don't show up to a funeral wearing fucking swimsuit. Oh, where's the water? Oh, we got to fucking, you mean you're going to drowning in tears? I thought we were going to be drowning in the pool. Like, fuck, come on, let's make another funeral. But like, we need water, we need the ocean or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people are just dumb. I think the dumbest people somehow make it to the top of these organizations. Because if I was running this company or whatever, oh my god, the numbers would double over each year. I would have like double numbers every year. They'd be like, oh my god, the fucking stock report is just beyond like good. And who are you, Nick? Like, why are you running this company so fucking amazingly? And I'll just say, look, I've been in the food service industry for 25 years. I know what fucking fine dining is, and I know that when I come into a restaurant and I'm supposed to be the manager of this restaurant, and it's not a fine dining restaurant, then I'm not going to turn it into a fine dining restaurant just because that's what I know. AKA, that's what the CEO of this fucking company is trying to do. She's trying to take, because this is the only CEO-ship that she can do, so she's taking that moment to say, oh, this is my chance to shine. This is my show. This is my moment to show how woke I can fucking be and how fucking stupid I am. Because that's really what it boils down to. You're just a stupid idiot if you think that woke sells anything other than a bunch of morons who don't have money to buy stuff at your location, whatever it is. Like, this is what they're pandering to. They're pandering to people that don't have money. They're all on food assistance and stuff like this. You know, these people that are woke, they're all the people, they're the useful idiots that they've cajoled from the people that they're getting free money from the government. This is the people that are woke. They're all the people that are woke they're the soldiers for this ideology. So the only ones that make it work, that it matters to. Like, you know, like I truly think that charity needs to exist. I think that especially, you know, our troops and the people that come back maimed and with PTSD and all these problems and things like this, as a result, I think we should be really tripling down on these people. But these woke people that are complaining for no reason, just because mommy didn't give them enough fucking toys when they were a kid, and now you know, and we don't register that enough, you know, like, what, do the finger tapping thing. Oh my god, this is insane. Like, I don't know. Like, I used to think I was a liberal, right? I used to think that I had liberal values, which, like, I could entertain ideas and consider thoughts that and have arguments for ideas that, like, weren't my thing. You know, for the, you know, in the sport of, like, being an actual debate, you know, like in the sport of debates, you know, like can you flip the idea of what you're trying to sell and reverse it, right? Like that, you know, that's a debate. That's somebody who can debate. But these people have no identity. They all wear the same type of glasses. They all have the same argument. They all use the same talking points. And it's really fucking, actually, like, it's kind of sad more than in anything else. Like, because the fact is that it's so sad because of the fact that these people are sharing the same brain, the same limited brain power. It's like they all went Apple, right? Like, every device in their head is just an Apple device, which restricts their ability to think about stuff and nothing, and just clear coats just exactly what they want it to be, right? And this is the kind of thing that is their diversity is the same. There's no diversity in these people. So where do they get off being woke is the most hilarious and ridiculous part of this whole thing. Is that, you know, at the end of the day, these people are talking about inclusion, but the only thing they do is exclude, right? It's like with black fatigue right now. Everybody, like, black people of a certain character think that, you know, like, white people just owe them reparations, and that because we don't make enough money at work, we can just go to the store and pick it up, right? Like, that's this mentality that's just kind of oversaturating the market right now, and a lot of people are jumping on this bandwagon to include themselves into that and get the free stuff that they think that they're entitled to. But it's just not. It's not true. And at some point, reality is going to snap back at people, and we see that already. And things are going to change. So in conclusion here, I think that where we're at with Cracker Barrel is that, hey, look, you wanted to sacrifice yourselves to the woke gods. You're gone. You're done. It's too late. You can't rechange. Like, if you change your logo back and you fire this fucking moron, that's the only chance you have. But that's a drastic play. And they hired this lady to do this kind of drastic stuff. So they're not going to cut her loose anytime soon, unless they hit a trigger point which forces them, where the shareholders snap back, where everybody in the fucking on the Fortune 500 side of things, starts coming back and says, look, it's time to shut it down. Get this evil, crazy bitch out of our coffers right now before she does any more damage. Like, they should have did this with Kathleen Kennedy years ago. But I'm telling you, this is what people are missing. Even the people that are, independent reporters, the people like me, people that are way better than me, people that you're probably actually following, because this video is not going to anybody. I don't think anybody even watches anything that I say, but it's more for me anyway. But anyway, so what's really happening, like with Disney, they kept Kathleen Kennedy in charge, and while she destroyed all of Star Wars, all of fucking Indiana Jones, all of like everything, the MCU that's come through things, like all of these things that these girl power girl bosses in woke and blah blah blah. It's still white woman, by the way. Why is it only white men are the target, not white women? What about these old, crusty old women who are white women? There's no ire against that because they're part of feminists. There's no maninists. There's no manism. There is a maniverse, which I subscribe to quite often. But no, there's no quote unquote maniverse that's coming to pat men on the back for slighting women for being women. That's what the feminists do. They tap each other on the back for fucking men over and ruining men for no reason, just because they're men. Because all men are racists or therapists or builders. Yeah, all men are caring and helpful and very nice to women. Yeah, women are put up on pedestals by men, not by women. You look at women who married women. That's the number one divorce rate in the all the categories. It's women who are married to women. It's crazy. But there's a great comedian. There's a comedian who does a great bit about that. You should see that. Anyway, so Cracker Barrel, you done fucking played yourselves. And like I was saying, what I was trying to get at, by the way, before I lost track. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. For Cracker Barrel to do this, for Disney to do this, for them to double, triple, quadruple down on all this, it means that they're doing this on purpose, right? There's it came out a little while back that BlackRock is funding all of these companies. They're buying every neighborhood in America. They're doing all of this nefarious, underhanded stuff that's very toxic and destructive to American life and values. And they're doing it, right? And they're basically paying back, or they're doing studies on these companies and saying, well, you did this charity, okay, now you get these points. Oh, you didn't do that, okay, you lose these points. And there's a rating that they've created. It's like it's like any other type of rating, like a Nielsen's rating or some sort of other fucking rating. But they actually rate companies on their wokeness, their woke, the DEI-ness. How deep are they into DEI? Because they want to change the markets. They want Larry Fink of BlackRock, the CEO, has literally come out and said, look, you have to force behaviors. Okay, this is how they're doing it. They're forcing companies to do these things. Like, so if Cracker Barrel's not doing so great because they failed to hit their market caps, or they failed to hit their market demographics, so they're floundering because they're not doing enough for their base. what they do is then they go to BlackRock and say, hey, look, we want this never-ending funding. We want this endless funding to come to our doors. We're struggling. Okay, what do we have to do? Oh, okay, you have to first of all hire your white old man CEO and replace him with, well, we can just replace him with a white female CEO and give her some fucking Instagram glasses. She'll look like a Democrat. And that's what we want. That's the image we want to exude. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to take that and then we're going to change all the fucking the offerings. We're going to start with the aesthetic. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the really nice old school wood and the stuff that we're known for, right? So because we don't want the old customers anymore. We don't want the people that have given us the money to keep the lights on and our families fed for all these years. We want to change that now. We got to change that because they're no longer who we're talking to. Now we're talking to the youth generation because the youth generation is the most important segment that we have because they are not smart enough to know the dangers of socialism, communism, or any of these other isms. They're not smart enough to understand that stuff. They weren't around before pre-internet too, so they don't know how to do anything. They don't even know how to look at a map. When you give them a paper map, they're lost. They have no idea what the fuck that is that you've just given them. You've given them hieroglyphs. Is this a Rosetta Stone? Am I looking at this to save the future? Where am I? I don't know. That is the case. And this is why the youth generation right now is the most prime target for Larry Finks and even Bill Gates. You know, the Bill Gates malaria bullshit, you know, they're literally creating malaria. And so this way they can create more malaria and then sell you the cure for the malaria that they've created. This is how COVID went down. This is how all these other these things go. Guys, if you still believe in your government, I mean, you know, I know Donald Trump's doing a lot of good stuff, but if you still believe that the majority of people in your government actually have your best interest at heart, you've got another thing coming. You got a lot. Actually, there's millions of fucking, geoengineered insects like mosquitoes that are made in fucking Colombia by Bill Gates and his malaria foundation, right? They're making millions of fucking mutated mosquitoes to go out there and mutate more mosquitoes. What's going to happen when they change the DNA of that stuff? You know, and then that DNA hits our DNA. What's going to happen then? Oh, they know what's going to happen. I'm not a crazy tinfoil hat. I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat, guys. And at 45, I still have all of my hair, and I'm in amazing fucking shape because I don't listen to the shit that they tell me to do. I don't go to see doctors about bullshit, and so they can prescribe me Ozempic and all these other things to stay in fucking shape. No, I use my brain. That's all that's required, guys. But here's the thing. Common sense is not common anymore. It's now uncommon sense is the rule, okay? Not the exception. And this is the thing that I'm talking about. It's the fucking youth groups from this age that don't have enough common sense yet. It's like look at countries like China where they make people fucking have to do school for 6 days a week or whatever, but they have no fucking street smarts like they have all these understandings of like scientific or whatever the fuck that they've learned or whatever, but they have no street smarts. So this is this kind of thing. Common sense is not common. It's uncommon. Uncommon is the rule at this current. And this is what people want, though. Like if you think the dumbification of America, the infantilization of humans, you know, like making people dumber and stupider and reverting us. You know, this is why like like our technology even shows, like Apple technology. I made a joke about it earlier, but it's serious because Apple, it prevents you from doing things on your phone or in your computer that you might want to do. Like, no, Apple's saying, no, you're not allowed to do those things because that's just not something that you're supposed to do. So we're not going to let you have access to that shit. You know, like, because having access to that is really a detriment to you because you're going to download some bad spywares and you're going to do all kinds of stuff that's not going to really help you. And then you're going to have to come back to our Genius Bar again and we're going to have to fix it for you. And we don't mind doing that because every time we charge you for that shit. But we just, with the kids, what happens if your kid gets to use the phone or whatever and they have a bad experience because they're kids, like we got to protect the kids. So we're going to just shut everything down. Like, look at UK. They're shutting down all, like, adult-related sites with these age verification things and all this other stuff because it's for the kids. It's always about the kids. Well, anyway, fuck the kids. I'm not talking about kids. I'm not talking about the people we're supposed to be protecting, because that's not who they're protecting. This is their fucking whatchamacallit. This is them trying to do stuff to us, and they're just saying, oh, we'll pretend, we're doing it for a good reason. And what's that reason? Well, the kids. That always works, What about trafficking? What about illegal aliens? What about stopping the flow of illegal immigrants? What about for the kids? What about the kids that are being trafficked? What about those kids? No, those kids aren't fucking part of the agenda. It's only the kids that we don't know about that we have to worry about. Not the kids we already know that are in captivity and being slaves and sexualized and brutalized and fucking, yeah, what about those kids? Those aren't part of the conversation. Anyway, yeah, Cracker Barrel. I know. See, this is what happens when I talk, though. It's like I digress. But I digress because all these things are fucking relevant. I'm not a computer. This isn't a computerized story. This isn't AI or whatever. Like, I'm driving. I'm not reading a script. I'm telling you out of the fucking what I know, what I understand of this world. And that's the whole point. So look, you're unfiltered. It's that guy Nicky right here. This is how it goes. So anyway, follow me, like this story, fucking comment down below, whatever. I don't know. Subscribe, follow my music, do other things. I don't know. Anyway, I love you. I love your friends, love your family. Take care of your neighbors, and I'll talk to you soon.